This is the poster for the Little Mermaid movie in China. You notice anything? She's blue. Why is she blue?
Oh, so fabulous.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel once again. It's your girl Dumebi. If this is your first time coming across my channel, you're welcome. I do hope you decide to subscribe, and if you are a returning subscriber, you guys know that I love you. It's so good to have you here. Welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about the Little Mermaid. We know that the movie just dropped recently, the one that was played by our very own Halle Bailey. You guys, I've been looking forward to this movie dropping, and yeah, I definitely have plans to go and see it. But then the news that have been surrounding the release of this movie has not been very encouraging. As a matter of fact, that's why I'm making this video, because I was not very happy about what I was hearing. But then I won't really say that I'm shocked. So apparently people have been checking to see how good the movie is doing in the box office and in the cinemas and all of that, and it's flopping in some places. I think particularly Asia, China and South Korea to be specific. You know what, before I even just keep rambling, let me play clips of people talking about this whole situation.
Recently, there's been an article circulating around saying that Little Mermaid is not doing well in China and racism is to blame. Okay, so the Hollywood Reporter says, The Little Mermaid is getting doused in select foreign markets amidst the racist backlash over the casting of black actress Halle Bailey in the role of Ariel. The movie has grossed a mere $3.6 million in its first 10 days of release in China, by far the worst showing among Disney's live-action adaptations. Disney knew Little Mermaid could face challenges, but is surprised by the extent of the backlash and its impact. Look, I'll admit that as Chinese, we couldn't care less about the racial politics in the US.
I don't care.
If we think of the Little Mermaid, we'll think of someone that's fair-skinned, blue-eyed, red-haired, Caucasian. And similarly, if we think of Mulan, we wouldn't want someone white or someone black to play her because she's traditionally Chinese. So if you've casted someone based on their race, it's very odd, it's out of sync, it disrupts the integrity of the story. This is what a Chinese newspaper had to say. So the controversy surrounding Disney's forced inclusion of minorities in classic films is not about racism, but it's lazy and irresponsible storytelling strategy. And that they said that it takes a leap of imagination to accept a new cast. What's more, this is a poster for US, this is a poster for China. I don't know why she's blue. Look, Disney, you've been making live-action remakes for a while. Stop blaming your audiences for your lack of creativity. If you do want to celebrate black culture, go find stories in African cultures to make into fairy tales, and we will watch them. Stop trying to virtual signal casting black actors and actresses in traditionally white roles. It's the same as casting a white Mulan, and yes, we will be mad.
So I hate to say it, man, but The Little Mermaid may not hit $1 billion. And I think that's okay. I feel like if Disney is willing to take that risk, then they probably understand that they're not going to make much money from a black actor. Countries that aren't necessarily welcome to black people aren't going to love this film. This movie actually had the worst box office run in 2023 in China, and it's no surprise. I'll even go as far as to say that because there is a black female lead and because The Little Mermaid is a reboot, it's not going to get the same love that Black Panther got. They're just not well adjusted to us, and that's the truth. Like, I remember hearing about all the critic reviews, and there was one that just had me on the floor. This guy literally said that it was torture of his eyes to see it. I just think some countries may just prefer white actors. And I think Disney is just well aware of that. For example, you have posters like Star Wars and Black Panther where they had a mask on T'Challa, or they just completely shrunk Finn's face. I feel like this is a common trend, but let's be real. We don't care. We finna see this movie 4 or 5 times, bruh. When you make movies for us. When we get what we want, we support it. All I gotta say, if you black, you should have at least seen this movie 2 or 5 times. If you haven't seen it that much, you're not black.
So this is a great example of why I always say there's no form of bigotry more pervasive, common, or influential than anti-blackness, right? Like, you can be black and queer and receive anti-blackness from the queer community. You can be black and disabled and receive anti-blackness from the disabled community. I mean, shit, you could be black and receive anti-blackness from the black community, right? Like, look at this. This is so wild. It's not even like these people went want Ariel to be Korean or Chinese or Asian in some capacity. They just don't want her to be black, right? Like, that's how bad it is, right? That's how bad anti-blackness is. It's like, oh, you could be anything else. We just don't want you to be black. It's wild.
This is ridiculous, utterly ridiculous. Like, seriously, what the hell? I'm really disappointed in the Asian countries here who just, I mean, really? Just because she's black? Okay, so I read some of the comments, and here are my thoughts on it. Some of the comments are like, well, I'm just used to seeing Ariel as white, or isn't she supposed to be a white person, and why are they breaking this tradition? First of all, that's bullshit. If Ariel was cast as an Asian person, oh wait, they cast an Asian actress as Ariel. Oh, am I really gonna see comments from the Asian community saying, oh wait, I'm used to seeing Ariel as white, she should not be Asian. No, you all will be running to the theater supporting this movie and going, wow, Hollywood did a great job. They cast an Asian actress as Ariel. You wouldn't be saying, oh, I'm just used to seeing Ariel as white, and why is she like cast? No. You'll be happy that they cast an Asian actress. So enough with that bullshit of how like, oh, Ariel's supposed to be white, and I'm just used to seeing her white, or, well, that's part of the culture, blah, blah, blah. No. That's bullshit, because we all know if they cast Gemma Chan as Ariel, you'll all be running to the theaters and supporting this movie.
It's racist. It's colorism, it's all the isms for the reason that this film isn't doing well in China. But personally, I don't think it really matters whether this film is doing good in China or not. Now, there's a bigger conversation to be had about the East Asian market and how they appeal to paler skin, people who have Eurocentric features. And that ideology is a product of years and years and years of generational issues that have never been addressed, resulting in a movie like The Little Mermaid not being successful in China. Now, this is a very nuanced conversation and not something that is exclusive to China. Tenoch Huerta, who plays Namor in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, addressed this same point with Mexican television and media. And it has like a deep systematic problem, which is why we get the results that we do. And this is a trend that follows every movie with a either dark-skinned or black lead, where some of these advertising agencies acting within these countries will try to hide the fact that the character is black or dark-skinned. In most, if not all, the promotional material for Into the Spider-Verse when that movie released really tried to hide the fact that Miles Morales was a black character, and only showed him in suit in the trailers, only showed the posters that had Miles in a mask. It was weird, okay? These were like Japanese posters or Japanese trailers that were being shared, hiding the fact that Miles was a black individual. You can't do that with Little Mermaid, because Halle Bailey is unapologetically a black woman. The Little Mermaid is unapologetically a black mermaid. And this trend of unsuccessful movies in China or East Asian countries just shows that there's still a systematic problem that needs to be addressed worldwide. Racism, colorism, misogyny, you name it, still exists within these cultures. There are dark-skinned Chinese people, there are dark-skinned Japanese people, there are dark-skinned Asian people. And yes, there are definitely black people that exist within these countries as well. But these advertising agencies, these movie companies, will try very hard to make you believe that they don't.
Let this be a reminder that anti-blackness is a global phenomenon. And people are so consumed with their proximity to whiteness that they're willing to destroy their own culture in order to be accepted by the very people that is working to destroy them.
Dude, y'all need to stop. The news article comes out that says that The Little Mermaid's flopping in China and South Korea, and all of these creators are using this as an opportunity to come out as racist against Asian people. Primarily, I blame the news organizations for pushing this kind of rhetoric. Like, is this news? Was The Little Mermaid supposed to do super well in China? Tell me, how well did Shang-Chi do in Africa? Better yet, how did Shang-Chi do in China? Let me tell you, it did $0 in China because China didn't even approve the movie. How's that for supporting your own race? Now, no hate to any of these creators, but they're all coming out and saying that China's anti-black and we're all super racist. But what if the movie just looks like a lazy remake of an old classic that has none of the nostalgia of the original? Everyone's racist if they don't see it 4 times in the theaters, right? I mean, look at these comments. People just feel like they have free reign because of this article. Blacks need to stop supporting Chinese restaurants in our communities too. They don't like us. That's not true. Let's talk about black people's fascination with Asian cultures. I'll never understand it. I'm fascinated by black culture. What are you talking about? And they steal cultures too. They love to cosplay as black and brown people. Everybody likes to cosplay as everybody else. It's fun to imagine yourself as a different culture. What's wrong with that? Yet they want to claim POC. What are we, white? So disgusted by these role model minorities. Many of them will do anything to assimilate into white spaces. This is so ignorant and crazy that you can get away with these kind of comments. Like, it's just wrong on so many levels. I know I've gotten some criticism for not agreeing with the casting choice in The Little Mermaid, but it has nothing to do with the fact that Halle Bailey is black. It has to do with the original Ariel being a white redhead. I'd have the same issue if she were Hispanic. I try to continually highlight how great other creators are of all races and cultures. I understand that the article was meant to be inflammatory, but that doesn't give free rein for all of these closet racists to now come out and say, I knew it. I knew they hated us from the beginning. That's not true. Let me give you an example. This is a black guy that speaks perfect Chinese, and he's blowing up and beloved by all Asians that speak Chinese. He's amazing. People love him. People in China love him. So shame on you, legacy media, for pushing this kind of narrative. And for everyone else, let's learn to appreciate everybody's culture, and that starts with creating new POC characters for everyone to understand, learn, and enjoy.
So, The Little Mermaid came out recently over in Korea and China, and of course, it has not done so well. And of course, people have been review bombing it or complaining about how, just like white people, that's not the Little Mermaid I recognize. That's not the Little Mermaid I know. And of course, the main one, of course, especially in Asia, is that the Little Mermaid, the main actor, Halle Bailey, excuse me for pronouncing it, is dark skinned. Now, of course, obviously, been no recent aside, and the colorism, which I'm gonna get into later. Now, we can argue about how if it's a mid or terrible movie because it's a Disney live action movie, and they have not, historically have not, been the best. And of course, really the whole controversy has been before when, before the trailers and doing and up to the release, it's always been about the colorism in Asia, which I'm gonna get into. Now, I'm sure the Asian community, especially the Southeast Asian community, could back me up on this, but the whole hatred with Halle Bailey in Asia is really due to, again, what I said, colorism. Now, for those who aren't aware, colorism has been around for centuries, long, even possibly even before a local Asian in South Central Asia met a white person. And yes, even before white supremacy and before white colonization occurred, colorism has been deeply ingrained throughout all of Asia. A lot of it, the colorism in Asia that's deeply ingrained, it has to do with socioeconomical status. Usually, the poor rice farmers be working out in the hot sun all day, whereas the wealthy elite nobles could just sit inside and do whatever work they can do, just lay around and do nothing all day. Or say for the local goddesses or heroines in the local cultural stories, the women in the stories were portrayed as having beautiful white skin, pale skin as a moon or as the snow. So it does have a lot to do with the beauty standards, again, due to the local culture. And that's why to this day, you'll see many space, and at least in regards to, say, South Korea, where I'm at right now, you'll see many Koreans wearing parasols in the summer, not just to stay cool, but also to make sure they don't get darker skin. So when it comes to Asia cultures, when you walk around in, like, say, Thailand, Philippines, Korea, China, wherever you go to, you'll see a lot of locals carrying the parasols, not only to stay cool, but also make sure they don't get darker skin. They don't get a suntan. Yeah, so for my fellow African Americans, other people thinking that, all Asians racist because, they hate Halle Bailey because she's dark skinned. Again, it's really due to colorism that's deeply ingrained in the cultures for centuries. And for those said Asians who are hating her for having dark skin, how y'all hating on the character, a fictional creature, for having dark skin? Make that make sense.
So with all that being said, I want you guys to just pause and read some of these comments. Definitely those are not colorist comments, those are anti-black comments. After watching all those clips, the question that I have is, why are we surprised? Are we surprised that the Asian people don't want to watch it because it's a black girl? I know they'd say it's not because it's a black girl. They'll just say it's because it's not a white girl with red hair, or her hair was not red enough, or her eyes are supposed to be blue and they're not blue enough. It's not about the melanin in her skin. Are we surprised? In my opinion, Asians themselves have a lot that they are dealing with. They are dealing with colorism, featureism, racism. Do you guys know that they have whole caste systems based on how you look and even the color of your skin? So why are we surprised if they themselves have not even accepted and learned to live with the different diversity of human beings they have among themselves there in their own race, in their own countries? What makes us think they're going to accept us? I'm not surprised. I'm not. Anybody who is well knowledgeable on this whole thing would know that Asians have anti-black and white supremacist tendencies as well. So I'm not surprised. And they come out and say it's not because she's black, it's because she's not white with red hair. But if she was Asian, would y'all say that you people will go to the cinemas and watch? So, I mean, that argument to me is not making any sense. But the funny thing to me is how black people are so accepting of everybody, including these very Asians. And even over here in Africa, we consume a lot of Asian media. There are movies, We have people over here that can speak Korean, they follow K-pop, they watched K-dramas, they watch the whole Bollywood movies. Like, that is how much Asian media we consume. We're not thinking about, oh, we don't understand the language. We will watch it with subtitles. We'll watch it in black and white. We'll watch it with their unrealistic film tricks where someone is flying in the air and disappearing and catching a bullet with his hands. We'll watch all of that. We'll watch all of that. We love it. They come to our countries, they work freely, they open businesses, they have whole Chinatowns in our cities. Like, we do not discriminate. So it's painful to think that you're accepting of these people and they're not accepting of you. I'm just done with all of this. I'm done with it. I'm side-eyeing Disney at this point because I remember when the trailer dropped, I made this video and I talked about how I was happy that, you know, a black woman was being casted to play Ariel, and I played those beautiful clips of those black little girls reacting to the trailer, being all excited to see a black mermaid, and I was happy and I felt it was a good move. But now I think my opinion has changed. It's too much hassle. Like, Disney, if you guys want to give black people inclusivity and representation, please do it the right way. Write stories with black characters, original black characters. Let's have our own stories. We have a lot of black heroes. You could put a spin on any African hero or African story, any Caribbean story, any African American story, put a spin on it and make a beautiful cartoon from there, a fairy tale, whatever, something that is our own, that is original. Because I feel like this kind of representation, putting Halle Bailey in this kind of situation, is kind of setting us up to be dragged, setting us up to have the anxiety of seeing, oh, how well does this movie do? Let's see, are they going to accept us or not? It's setting us up to have to prove to these people why we deserve to even play those roles in the first place. And now you now see black people turning on their cameras and making videos to defend Halle Bailey playing the Little Mermaid. Why do we have to go through all of that gymnastics? Why? Like, I'm done. It's exhausting. So now we had to go to the extent of filming our little girls, our little baby girls, reacting and crying and smiling and jumping while watching the trailer to prove to you guys that you guys were doing some good, because these little girls could see themselves in the Little Mermaid. And that was still not good enough, because guess what? People are still writing these nasty comments. People are still not watching the movie. I know then, yeah, it probably doesn't matter if they're not watching it because it's for us, right? But I feel like if you all want to represent black people, can you do it the right way and not give us leftovers? Yeah, because now she got her moment in the spotlight. This is supposed to be a big thing for Halle Bailey, but this stain of racism and, oh, why is she black? Why is her hair not red enough? It's taking away from the beauty. It's taking away from the achievements that this young lady is supposed to be celebrating. So I don't know about everybody, but me personally, I'm following it up, and there's a part of me that does not want this movie to flop, because I know that it is actually special for black people to see us represented in that way. So it's giving me some kind of anxiety. Watching negative reviews, watching people trolling her because she's black, watching nasty comments and people making jokes out of this and out of that, changing the color of her skin and using AI to do this. Like, I feel like, I think it puts Halle Bailey in a position where there's too much scrutiny, where there's too much negativity. She basically got the role, right? She got the role fairly and squarely. She sings very well. She's a good actress. She got the role. But now she still has to keep proving to you guys why she deserves to be there. Even after the movie has dropped. No. I'm tired. Like, you guys, I'm so done with it. I want Disney to do what is proper. Please don't set our people up to be ridiculed. Make original stories that are for us. If other people don't want to watch it, there's no problem. We will watch it. But don't be giving us these roles that I feel like is just, you know, a token. Let them have this one. I think we deserve our own original stories. That's what I think. You guys, let me know what you think. Have you gone to see the movie? I'm going to go see the movie. I wish I could have taken my little nieces, but they're not around. And I'm definitely going to have fun going to see that movie and supporting Halle Bailey. And I know there's Melissa McCartney. I love Melissa McCartney. There's some other great actors there. I can't wait to see it. You guys, let me know what you think about this whole situation. Are you bothered or surprised by the fact that this Little Mermaid movie is not doing well in Asia? I'm really not bothered. Believe me, I'm not. But at this point, I'm just done with it. I'm indifferent and I'm side-eyeing Disney. And anybody who doesn't want to watch it because of the color of her skin, too bad. She made her money. She made her money. Yeah. So you guys deal with it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.